if you score more goals than your opponent, you win the game. The fact is, if you have 99% possession and don't score a goal, the best you can do is draw. And for me, the fact is, I'd rather be looking at how many trophies that I could win rather than moaning about pointless possession football. Welcome to 100% Chelsea with me, Footie Writer. Yes, it's no secret, I'm a Chelsea fan. I've never made it a secret on my channel. Make sure you come and like me over on YouTube and also over on Twitter. The links will be somewhere around here for you to click. If you follow me over on Twitter, you'll know how wound up I get by the people who claim that because they've had more of the ball and more shots, they deserve the win. The simple fact of the matter is, if you score more goals than your opponent, regardless of how much possession you have, you'll win the game. And you could never convince me that winning the game isn't the most important thing. If that means nicking an early goal and sitting back on it for 80 minutes, so be it. Is it narrow-minded? Maybe. But let me argue the following point. See, I think people have got confused between deserving to win something and being more annoyed with the fact that their team dominated stats that usually mean that they win and didn't win. Yes, I'm fully aware that as a Chelsea fan, one of the only clubs that would need to put this out, one of the bigger clubs, is Chelsea. It's not a secret. Mourinho likes to play defensive football, build from the back and score against the big teams. Now, this isn't always the case with the smaller teams. In fact, you might be surprised to know that Chelsea, over the course of the 14-15 season, have had 55% of the ball at all times. Mourinho likes to build from the back, defend, counter the big teams. And why is that the right system for Chelsea? Because it works. Chelsea win games playing the system. Chelsea won the Champions League playing this exact same system, overcoming Barcelona and in the final Bayern Munich, who had more of the ball and more shots throughout. It looks like Chelsea will win the league this season doing exactly the same thing. And Jose Mourinho has always done it throughout his clubs, regardless of Real Madrid and Inter Milan, who before he turned up were quite free-flowing attacking teams. But he won trophies. Go back to 2010, Inter Milan against Barcelona, and you might remember that Inter overturned Barcelona despite only having 17% of the ball, which is a really low figure, but they still won and they went through and they won the Champions League. Now, case in point, before I told you that Inter Milan only had 17% of the ball, was that something that you remembered? Do you remember Barcelona really dominating the game, or do you remember that Inter Milan lifted the trophy in 2010? So, is this system anti-football, as the purists will have you believe, or is it tactical discipline? For me, considering the point of football is to come out with 3 points, playing whatever system suits the team best to get the most points is the right system for that team. We can only make assumptions given facts. We know it was a fact that Inter Milan won the Champions League that year. We know it was a fact that Chelsea won the Champions League playing the same system. And it looks like Chelsea will win the league this season playing defensive football. The purists will always argue that playing a better flary style of football and winning games is more important than playing a rigid style if it gives you the chance to win more points, and I've never understood this. In fact, Paul Scholes has said that Manchester United, just back in March, were playing pointless possession football. Michael Laudrup said he'd give up the possession every time if his team came out with 3 points. Even Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid said that Barcelona were playing pointless possession football and they'd rather have the result than the percentage possession. And the list goes on. There's plenty of other pundits and ex-footballers who have said that possession football or shots, getting away the most shots, is pointless. The only stat that matters is the one that's in the top left-hand corner. What are your thoughts on the matter? Make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea for more exclusive content. Go and check out some of the past videos that we've done. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed the points that I've made. I'm sure some of you won't, but that's what football's all about, discussion.
There's also Player of the Year. And 2 contenders for Player of the Year is Eden Hazard and Alexis Sanchez. Now we're going to battle it out here and see who deserves that honour. So, who are you going with?
Eden Hazard, I think, is a brilliant player. I think he's been the key player for you guys. He's saved you lot on so many occasions this season. But my Player of the Year this year is Alexis Sanchez. And